Hey, my name is Rajesh. I'm a multifamily lender based in Los Angeles, California, specializing in 2 to 8 unit buildings. Today we're going to be looking at this $1.995 million building fourplex in Los Angeles, California, 10809 Palms Boulevard. And I'll be punching these numbers into my calculators. By the way, if you want to learn how those calculators work, check out this video here and here. I don't know where it's going to appear, to be honest with you. But I'll probably just leave a link in the description. So let's get started on this and see if it's even worth buying. I'm going to first punch it into my DSCR calculator, find the best combinations, and then I'm going to punch it into my cash flow calculator, see what it looks like in 30 years. So 1.995, it's got 4 units, 0 vacancies. Let's see what gross rents are. $110,000. $110,400 divided by 12, $9,200 a month. Let's see, property taxes. Landlord insurance seems a little bit high. It's actually going to be closer to maybe $1,600 a month. $1,600 a year, sorry. $133 a month. And 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm putting 0 for all of these because they're usually tenant paid. Let's actually double check that by checking out the offering memorandum. Other income, vacancy loss. So this is actually pretty good right here. It tells us our vacancy loss divided by 110,400. So that's 3%. They're saying they have a 3% vacancy loss. Not bad. Tells us our net operating income, 40% rental upside, assuming we kick rents up. But let's see how it performs at this current level. I'm not going to count laundry income. As lenders at my company, we focus strictly on the rental income. All this is gravy, that's good, but we're just not going to count it. On a commercial loan, like 5+ units, and you're going to a bank, or you're getting like a 10 unit plus, rather, then we would start worrying about all sources of income, because then we want to figure out what this building actually looks like. And here you find all the expenses. So property insurance is $3,000. Wow. Divided by 12, so that's $250 a month. Let's see what they say as far as water goes. Utilities and trash, $5,500. So 5,500 divided by 12 is 458. So let's say trash is 250, and then water would be 258. Yeah. Trash is 250 a month. I somehow doubt that. Let's see what kind of trash cans they have here. Trash pickup actually depends on the type of trash they have. Sometimes it's just picked up by the city on fourplexes because it's still considered 1 to 4 units, or rather residential units, not commercial. And on top of that, it can be owner occupied. And because of that, it chances are that trash is included in the property taxes for the city. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to put this at 0. Let's divide this up because, I mean, common areas, you've got gardening. You've got a lot of gardening. You can see a lot of greenery there. You can see the premises look very clean. Like, this is well maintained. There's no trash around there. Same thing here. So I'm going to say the majority of these maintenance costs probably go towards off-site management fee, repairs and maintenance for landscaping and cleaning, $2,400 a year. That's $200 a month. So let's add this up right here. 4,416 plus 2,400 plus 2,000 reserves, licenses, and permits. Permits for what exactly, though? Divide that by 12, $734 a month. So let's say $734 a month right there. Do I see anything for management? No, nothing for management. So this is 0. And then we had utilities and trash, $5,500, right? So that was what, $458. So net operating income is $4,413, just based on these numbers. Property taxes are $25,000, $25,237 divided by 12. So no, I already did that. 25,237 divided by 12, 2,103 a month. 3. I don't know why that's not changing. That's weird. There we go. So we're looking at $5,300 a month. All these expenses updated automatically. Alright, so it's 0, there's 458, 734, pest control 0, legal 0, advertising 0, 56.55. 56.55 times 12, 67,680 a month. Let's see here. So let's see what 65,000. So about $2,000. Less than what I'm calculating here. So in this case, let's say we're doing this is a fourplex, so you're actually going to come in slightly lower, 7.25 with the 1.0 DSCR ratio. So let's see, you're going to be at a 1.0 DSCR ratio. You're only going to have to put down about $1 million, $991,000 down payment. That doesn't include any of the closing costs. You're going to be losing about $1,200 a month. With a bank loan, 5.875, maybe 5.6 right now, something like that. $1.2 million or $200,000 more, and you get a cash flow $943,000, approximately $1,000 a month more. Let's say you get the owner to do sell credits, maybe $100,000. So you're buying it down significantly. I could get you a 5.875. What would a 1.2 DSCR ratio? It would only have to be a 1.1 DSCR ratio actually, just to get that. And so now you're at $979,000. Same interest rate, less DSCR ratio, smaller down payment, and now you're losing $352 a month. And you're wondering, well, why would I do that versus a bank loan? Well, this is the minimum down payment you're going to have to do on a bank loan just to get this building. 1.20 DSCR ratio. Well, no, there's a 4 unit, so you might be able to get away with 25% down. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, this would not work. They would not qualify at this level. They'd want to see cash flow there somewhat. They'd want to see a 1.0 on 4 unit. So we're looking at 1,039,000. Let's just say 1 million. This is 980,000. So this is 40,000 over a million. This is 20,000 under a million. Here you're up $2 a month. Here you're $352 a month short. We can go interest only on a DSCR loan. On a 4 unit, might be able to go interest only. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so you're up 987. You're up 684 here. 1.2, you would not have to buy down the interest rate. You'd be able to get it for like 6.999. We're still doing 1.758. Yeah. Minimum down payment is still cash flow. Let's say 1.1 here. $5.875. Interest only. Still not. I would not even look at this building as a possibility. I mean, I can make it work, but at what cost? The purchase price is 1.2 million. The real benefit here is that this is a 4 unit. Depending on lot size, you'd probably be able to add some ADUs, turn it into an 8 unit. But as you can see here, it's a pretty tiny lot as well. The only way to do it would be to build on top, and permits for that means this building's going to be unoccupied while you do that work. Interesting. Because if somebody really wanted this, right? This is better than a hard money loan. In the sense that you could buy this and do construction on it for about 50% down, a little more than 50% down. No, that's not even the case, because in a hard money loan, they have a LTV of 60%. With a construction loan, you're looking at maybe 65 to 70% of after repair value. So let's say you added 4 units, right? And now this is no longer a 4 unit building, there's an 8 unit building, and 8 units are going for 3.5 million. Let's just say that. So 3.5 million times 0.65. That means your max loan amount is $2.275 million, $2,275,000. And now it's going to cost you maybe $150,000 per new additional unit that you're going to add on. Let's say 150,000 times 4, that's 600,000. Let's round it up to $700,000. So $700,000. So now here's your maximum loan amount. So one for the purchase price, that can be applied towards a purchase price, and the other $700,000 would go towards financing the repair cost. So 1.575 million minus 1.1575 divided by 1995. So you're looking at maybe 22% down, 78%, right? And again, this would be interest only, and you're doing it with construction budget. So you're looking at maybe 10.25 based on your experience. Let me take this back up here. So your monthly payments are $13,000. Collecting $0 a month in rent. So this cash flow portion does not even apply. You're looking at putting $500,000 down. After you finish it, right? Let's say you do the refinance. Okay. And the purchase price, we're just going to use that as placeholder for property value. 3.5 million, 8 units. And you get this number of, they're saying market rents are how much? $32.50 per unit. So $32.50 times 8 is $26,000. So let's just be generous and say $3,000 a month. $24,000. Okay. Now we're at $1,100 per unit, or yeah, $1,100 per unit in terms of insurance. $733. Trash probably and utilities will definitely go up. So let's say $600. Maintenance probably going to go up. Let's say $1,400. Your net operating income is $17,621. Fantastic. That sounds fantastic, right? And now you refi it and you do a cash out to pull your $400,000 out. Your original $458 out. Let's say we are at 8 units. Let's say 6.999. So you're going to leave $875,000 in there as equity. So 3.5 million, right? Minus 875, which means you pulled out $2.625 million in cash. But when you're doing a cash out on a commercial building, they generally won't let you go that high in LTV. We're looking closer to maybe 60% because they want you to keep skin in the game. So now you're leaving in 1.4 million. Let's just say 1.5 million, right? So yeah, let's say 1.5 million. So you're at 43% debt to income ratio, or not debt to income, LTV. Oh, equity rather. LTV is 57, so you're at 43% equity. So you pull out 2 million, right? Because you've left 1.5 million in there. Your monthly payment is $11,000. Your net cash flow is $5,900, $6,000 a month. You're thinking, well, that's still crap. It's only $6,000, and I've spent $2 million or $3.5 million just to get this building. No, you spent $458,000, which you recovered with the refinance. And so you spent $0 literally because you had that money cashed back out, and you've created 4 new housing units as well. And you get paid $6,000 a month for the benefit of it. So if you're a developer, if you have experience adding ADUs to multifamilies, this is a good property for you, because it's literally you get, after you finish all the work, obviously, you get to pull out all your original cash investment. You have zero cash of you have $0 of your original investment remaining in the building. You pulled all of that out through the cash out refi. And now you're cash flowing $6,000 a month. They're just giving you $6,000 a month. And you've actually made $2 million also on your original $458,000 investment. So you got a return of what? Let's say $500,000, $2 million. So you gained $1.5 million plus $6,000 a month in cash flow every single month, just for adding 4 more units to this building. So this video did not go the direction I thought it would. But using these new numbers, let's punch that into our cash flow calculator. So we're going to leave this at 3.5 million. Well, you know what? Let's see here. 2 zeros. Property management fee, let's say 5%. Down payment, 40 cent. 22, right? 22, 10.25. No, I want to keep this. Yeah, this calculator is not meant for refis, but we can still use it as such. So let's see here, 43%, 6.999. And this would be fully amortized. Oh, this was interest only, that's why it's paying it off. Without it, you're getting $4,300 a month. But boo-hoo, you're getting $4,300 a month, and you've got all your original investment out, plus the $1.5 million on top of the $450 you originally put in. Closing costs, 30. Fully amortized, 3.5 million. And let's see what this unit is going to be worth in 30 years. So let's see, what's our vacancy rate? What are we going to put for vacancy rate? 8%. They claim 3%. I'm going to put 10%. Yearly inflation, 4.86. That means all our costs are rising fairly quickly. If I were to put, if you're going to tell me, inflation is actually closer to 2% per year. Well, that's the goal of the Fed. And I'd place it closer to 4 or 5%. But let's say you put it at 3, right? That's actually worse for calculating this model, because that means costs are going to rise slower. This tells you how fast costs are going to go up every year, by how much costs are going to compound every year. And let's say I put cost compound every year at 10%. That means our expenses for running this building are going up at 10%. So it's actually pretty liberal and optimistic, rather, if you put a lower inflation rate. If you put a higher inflation rate, you're being very conservative. In LA, generally properties appreciate at 8% a year. I believe in the last video, when I ran it through ChatGPT, it came back with 8.26%. We'll leave it at 8. Rental inflation in Los Angeles, roughly 3.18%, despite the fact that California has a bill that limits rental increases to 5% plus inflation every year, or 10%, whichever is lower. actual inflation, rents go up based on 3.18% per year on average every year because market forces are more powerful than laws. And in this case, market forces are actually working in the favor of tenants. And so hazard insurance I put at about $8,800. Let's see what we're putting for utilities. As far as we have trash and utilities at $600 a month. $600. And then we have maintenance at $1,400 a month. So over here, if you can see it, it's at $2,160 a month. So I'm going to say that more than covers our operating expenses. And property management is $1,000 a month, even though this says 0. So I'm going to leave all those in there. This tells me net operating incomes $160. Net cash flow your first year. Wow. Debt service is going to kill us here. So I must have done something wrong on the debt service portion. Total monthly payments are $13,000 every month. Huh. Yeah, $13,295, $13,271. That's because it's. Did I do the down payment wrong? 43%. No, down payment's right. What is going on here now? Gross income is $259. How is my debt service coming in at $159? This is the net operating income. So clearly I must be doing something wrong with my net operating expenses. I have $24,000 minus, so that's $8,000. Yeah, my monthly costs are $8,000, right? So let's see here, 24,000 minus 8219 minus $13,000 that's $2,510. Oh, the vacancy. Yeah, this is at 100% occupancy versus this, which is calculating at 10% vacancy. That would explain it, because right here, vacancy is at 28,000. So again, the full 288, I'm getting 259. Okay, that makes sense. So according to this, you're still cash flowing every year, right? Net income down here is cash flow minus mortgage interest write-off and building depreciation for the sake of taxes. And you can show a loss over there, but cash flow wise, it looks like there is an issue here. So let's say instead of 10% vacancy, we go down to 8%. What does that look like? Well, we increased that a little bit. Let's see, we were at 3% according to their pro forma. Now your cash flow looks more reasonable. You've got 18,000 at the end of your first year, 21,000 second year, fifth year, 10th year is $34,000 net cash flow. Let's say we are at vacancy of 0, what that looks like. And there we go, 25,000, which was roughly about $2,000 a month. And at the end of it all, you're losing $1.1 million because it looks at this initial injection of equity as an expense, but you're leaving that in there. That's cash you had already left in there. And then let's say you sell it in 30 years, you're at $24 million. So for $458,000, your original purchase price, plus about a year and a half of construction, you've built 4 more units at a cost of about $13,000 a month, right? So 13,000 times, let's say 18 months, plus 458,000 original down payment, $692,000 that you spent just on adding those 4 units, just the holding costs, right? Acquisition and holding costs. And then you do a refi for $3.5 million, assuming it values up to that much, and you pull out your original investment and then some, let's say roughly $2 million, leaving about $1.5 million in equity in the building. And then you charge $3,000 a month per unit. You earn about $25,000 a year, which is really not the point. But it's not a bad thing to have. And it ensures that you have enough cost to cover maintenance and other major issues. And then your exit is, after 30 years, $24 million. So you took $458,000 plus an additional almost $240,000. So let's just say $700,000 all in, right? You turned $700,000 into $24 million. So let's see what kind of return that is. Divided by 700,000. Did I do that right? Yeah, that's a 300% return. Not bad. No, that's not right. I did this wrong. I did 2.4 million. This should be closer to a 3,000% return. So 700,000. Yeah, 34.28 times 100. 3,400% return on money. This says 1.429 because it's assuming you just put $1.5 million in. But in reality, you only got it for the original $700,000. This is a pretty good deal. This is a really good deal, assuming you can get permission and permits to do to add 4 units.